Okay. Hello. Let's see. Does it work? For some reason it doesn't. Let's check. This says unit roster. For some reason it's some bullshit. Let's see. Okay. There it goes. That's not what I wanted. Okay. There you go. So let's see, does it work or not? For some reason it says ultra funds turn whatever. I don't know why. I'll just here we go. Okay. Cathay speculation. I don't know why it's whatever. This thing is bugged. All right. Let's see. Does it work or not? Let's see. Maybe I can drop some like flying picture. Let's see. Very much hello. Oh hell yeah! This one that's the one that I want. Ding. And we're gonna create image. There we go. We're just gonna drop it here. Gonna flip it. Uh, nah, that's okay. Okay. Hey. Hey, Nathan. Yeah, let's finally start discussing a roster. I didn't look it up yet, so should be new to me. All right, let's go. Okay. So, what do we have here? Welcome back to Total War. You're waiting. Oh, we definitely did. Powerful nation capable. Okay. Okay, very good. Okay. Okay. So apparently they're. Yay, Hamel Spaghetti. What's up? Oh, okay. Do you urinate? Okay, makes sense. What's up, Ben? How are you doing, champ? I can drop in chat, Ben, if you want. The Dragon Pegasus unit is funny. Just flexing on Britonia at this point. Dude, I agree. It's just pure flex on Britonia and Dragon Princess. It just, look, guys. We have both Dragon Princess on, you know, Dragon Pegasus hybrids. That actually are flying. And definitely better than Pegasus Knights. So, this one we probably already saw. All of us, so... We do have some formations here, so that may be something interesting. We also saw the fact that we have... You miss lockdown times? Yo, champ, if you're home, I can drop in chat. Just shoot me out. Yeah, poor high elves. Alright, so what do we have? Warhammer 3 is not a finished game. What you see below is an overview, not the stats of every unit. We will speculate stats anyway. And something may change before release, however, still plenty of difficulties. Okay, so here you go. This is what we start with. So we got the first dragon. As far as I get, we have only 2 dragons. Like Malikis Marathi, and we don't have... Like, it doesn't seem that, like, other Dark Elf Lords can ride a dragon. I don't think this will be the same for Cathay, which makes me a little bit sad. Like, I thought there will be a pure dynasty of like basically generic dragon lords, and you can kind of like in campaign forge your path with some minor dragon. That would be very cool, but it's okay. Oh, you're still at work, dude. What's the time in your place? All right, Mio, Yan, believe yourselves the strongest dragon sibling. Maybe sibling. So there is only one with her. Okay. Okay, good enough. Yeah, Great Bastion, which I still don't know what it is, but I assume it's some sort of like name of a very major place or something. I don't know. So, okay, so super arrogant, protecting Grand Cathay, good. Such power function beings, emits a command and majesty. This is just a little bit of lore. Doesn't give us any indication of her powers. Okay, both dragons are master of elemental winds. That's already cool. So we do have, just like Malikis Marathi, we will have you know, big shot magic users. It's a great wall. Oh, great batch. Oh, of course it's a great wall. Why I didn't thought about it? Yeah, thanks. Thanks, small spaghetti. Yeah. All right, so we have masters of elemental winds, which may mean that they will have like great Hurricane Conduit or something, like something of that sort. As we know, Winds of Magic do get reworked, but at the same time they kind of stay the same. This attribute, which is shared among all Grand Cathay spellcasters, increase the power of all spellcasts of which spellcasting. Okay, so they are okay, so they have some sort of like additional power to their magic, like percent of damage. Sup, Loopy? What's up? Loopy, what do you think about Grand Cathay? Do you think it's like absolutely Better high elves. Okay, we'll come back to that later. After we're gonna review the roster. All right, so this makes taking multiple spellcaster all the more effective of their armies. Okay, even doubling or better the power of spells would have been okay. Of course, they might not have the arm. Okay, this is interesting. So if people like known like people should know, but skinks and slants were supposed like in tabletop. For example, the skinks were they were using as like a power up and like a tool for a slan to use his magic. So they will not only give you additional, basically additional magic, like if I would, translate it to our game, it also give us more, like more reach for their spells. Here we have a pure indication of something like that. Well, like we'll have stronger magic. Not sure what that means. Does it mean we'll have more winds of magic, or does it mean we actually will have stronger spells? And is it unique to Cathay or not? So magic has to unique selection of spells from lore of Yin and life. Aha! Pure lore of life. Magic with regrowth. I mean, dragon with regrowth. Let's go. It's better dwarf and high elf and empire put together. Not sure about dwarfs, but high elf is empire, I agree. Disdain of dragons. All enemies who try to combat will find themselves in a significant disadvantage. That can be whatever, like it can be -5 melee defense aura. So this is that sadly doesn't say us to anything, but that's okay. At least we know that they should be big, powerful, and just like Malikis or probably Marathi have like Great Orc Conduit, some cool spells and shit. Lore of Yin and Life. Yes, regrowth on the dragon. Hello. Alright, ruler of Western provinces. The Iron Dragon. Oh, do they share? Do they not? The protected Grand Cathay from the horse from the north. Do they not do they not share kingdom? Do they actually like in conflict with each other? That would be kind of rad. I assume they can't use magic while in dragon form, but it seems they can change it at will. They have armor TP crossbows, yeah. It's probably a cooldown of the transformation. Hey Tequila, yeah, they probably are. So like you will have to, like that's maybe like some cool things. I'm not sure how transformation will work. Hey, nobody is better than dwarves. That's some dwarven rumblings right there. Hey, Kelgar. Ruler of Western provinces, the Iron Dragon, it seems... Okay, so... He is one of the Empire premier alchemists. So alchemist, as far as I get, basically will be something like warrior priest, but we will see. Vocal to the same within his realm. Okay, proximity to Warpstone Desert. Okay, dude, just... Okay, like Skaven everywhere. Who said only Clan Ashen reached Nippon and shit? No. Apparently in Cathay, we have a shit ton of Skaven. If there is a Warpstone Desert, you bet there will be a shit ton of Skaven here. And the Great Maw. Okay, Destruction Magic, yes, okay, sure. Great Maw is Big Ogre Kingdom like point. This would certainly explain some odd tendencies and decisions he makes. Okay, well, you will be making decisions for him. While less favorites than his sister by Celestians, their mother, the Moon Empress, has a soft spot. Okay, so there is a Moon Empress. Aha, there may be another dragon. That's kind of cool. More dragons better. Both dragons lead their armies with incredible fervor, blah blah blah. Okay. Non-character Cathayan units all ascribe to either Yin or Yang, and when close to the opposite, receive buffs. Okay. Melee Yang units become more defensive and harder to kill, while ranged Yin units fire faster. Okay. Did I get it right? So this is Yin and Yin. Not sure what that means. Non-character concerns all ascribe to either Yin or Yang, and when close... Okay, so I assume Yin or Yang just, well, it just buffs that every, it's like, you know, like Dark Elves have murderous prowess, the same for these guys. So they become stronger if they're in close proximity to their Dragon Lord. So heal blobs with Lore of Life. Yep, that would be a thing. Okay. Lords increase these benefits when they're nearby. Oh. Oh. When class to the opposite receive buffs. Oh, never mind. Okay. So this is literally like synergy that you have to abuse. They basically put like, look guys, we have melee units and range units. Please use them together. Don't just spam range units in campaign. I don't know about that. People probably still spam mostly range units. So yeah, between this and Master Elemental Winds attribute, it makes hero spellcasters quite a powerful choice in Grand Cathay armies. There are force multiple multipliers with battle. Okay, battlefield wide and in the area of effect. Okay, so I assume battlefield. This is interesting because the more battlefield wide buffs, the better the game is, in my opinion. We need more battlefield wide buffs and less area of effect, because area of effect buffs just, you know, force blobs. That's about it. I hope the Yin Yang buffs aren't too crazy and this unit are generally balanced. Yeah, they don't seem to be too crazy. Like it says, like just becoming more defensive, harder to kill. Again, it can be something like 5% physical resistance, and with range, it can be like plus 10% reload speed or something like that. That's like whatever. It's just like nice gimmicks that they have. Okay, so unique abilities and dragons transform. Both dragons can swap forms in the middle of the battle. Cool. Becoming more powerful melee with the ability to fly. Magic has access to unique selection spells from Law of Yang and Metal. Okay, as you see, there is Lore of Yin and Lore of Yang. So Yin and Yang are like big counterparts, I assume, and Metal. So Final Transmutation Dragon. This is like Gelt. This is such a huge flex on Gelt. Oh my god. Because there's no way he wouldn't have Final Transmutation, right? Yeah. Warding Iron. The Iron Dragon near invulnerability can be passed on to his nearby troops. Okay, so he have AoE buff. That's cool. That basically, I think this added here just because this little line right here makes your blobs way more dangerous than his. So I think that's why they added it, just to give him a little bit more. Literally, yeah, Super Saiyan Gel. This is ridiculous. This is cool though. Like, the thing is, I always thought that Gelt is super underwhelming. Like, all he is flying guy with like flying metal caster. Chaos can have flying metal caster on a dragon. So this guy is just flying metal caster on a dragon on steroids. That's it. The roster already seems well-rounded without any DLC. Alright, well, let's see about that. So we got Dragon-Blooded Lord. Okay, can he become a dragon? While relatively rare, the ancient nature of the dragon simply means that many of their progeny now exist within. They often rise position of power, not least out of respect to their heritage, but also due to the power that comes with being part of the family. The Dragon-Blooded, as they are known, are inevitably skilled combatants, natural sorcerers, talented leaders. Okay, nothing says that they can transform to dragons. As you can imagine, their lineage can be a source of some jealousy and resentment from high-ranking mortals. They're immortal, though, especially when the Dragon-Blooded allows their abilities to develop into arrogance. As the magic wielder of Grand Cathay, they are... Dude, imagine that. Imagine, like, for Bretonia, you have Prophetess, right? Literally, that's one of your leader choices, right? Bretonia. It is a faction in our game, right? And we have... Yeah, they're descendants from dragons, but they're not dragons themselves. Okay, and These guys, imagine like Britonia have just a prophetess. All prophetess can do is fly on a Pegasus and cast a little bit of spells. That's about it. And now these guys have a magic wielders that are freaking dragon blooded. It's basically vampire, but for human factions. Ridiculous. Okay, the dragon blooded fight with either lore of Yan or lore of Yin. Okay, so 2 unique lores. Each takes its power from Celestial Dragon Emperor and its unique school passed down through the air. Ooh. Okay. So actually, these Dragon Emperors are super important for a society, huh? Most spaghetti, I would assume it happened in human form. So, relatively easy to explain. The lore of Yan focuses on buffing allies with restored beliefs and disruption enemies with walls. Okay. In a particular dice interaction, it can also unleash mighty explosions. Okay. Bringing it to the power of Celestial Dragon Emperor. Okay, the spells. Jade Shield. Dragon Breath. So we have Wind Spell. We have Shield of Thorn. We have Walls. That's a new mechanic. If this is what kind of like we want to, it's some sort of... we already have kind of this mechanic. If you do Chill Wind, everybody will get, you know, thrown away from a Chill Wind, and then you cannot really pass through Chill Wind for a very short period of time. So maybe that's what that will be. It will be just like Chill Wind, just a wall, but for just like quite a bit longer duration. Wall of Wind and Fire, not gonna lie, sounds amazing. I'm not sure what exactly it means. It also may be just wall, like a AoE, that if you pass through it, you take damage. That's about it. Aren't these the only real gaps in the roster? I can see the lack of cheap shields. Okay, I didn't look at distances from dragons. Yes. Okay. Why can Cathay dragons turn to humans and no other dragons can? Unless I don't know the lore. Yeah, so Cathay dragons supposed to be like not basic dragon. They're supposed to be like something beyond. I'm sure Imrik does not approve. Imrik is simping for this girl all the way from Kalidor. He just running, just like in this Tarif meme. He is already on his way. You can't really talk to Imrik before he like get this one. All right, Stone Ground Stance. Sounds like a buff. Might of Heaven and Earth. So we have Wind, Fire, and Earth. And Consolidation of the Dragon. Sadly, have no idea what that means. It may be huge buff, and that Might of Heaven and Earth sounds like a big explosion for me. So we will get Big Boom. So big AoE spell, Wind spell, Shield, another AoE, probably like defensive AoE or something. Another buff, 2 defensive buffs. Okay. And this one, a Mighty Explosions, bringing it with the power of Celestial Dragon Emperor himself. So this, I assume, Mighty buff or something. Imrik is the Lord of Dragons. They simp for him. Oh, yes, they do simp for him. Doesn't mean that he doesn't simp for this girl, huh? Constellation of Dragon better not be like the high magic wind spell. Yeah, that can be. They definitely can. The lore of Yin is more esoteric school. Oh, shit. Well, that's why I have translator here, because I have no idea what this means. Okay, okay, got it. So, more exotic and secretive. With the power of reflect projectiles, or the summon goes that, okay. Those who practice it with shield, it can shield their allies behind. Oh, dude, why English is so hard? Does anyone know what it is? I'm just gonna move on. Can somebody explain it to me? Obfuscation. Obfuscation. And remove foes in the dead of the night. Their spells are Storm of Shadow. Okay. Okay. So that sounds like AoE, at least to me. Maybe Flock of Doom, something like that. Cloak of Jet, that may be invisibility spell from lore, from Ashen lore. Hello, Milk. Sub. Subway deep right. How do you know? Okay. Means it's like making things harder to see or unclear. Obfuscation is making things harder to see or unclear. Okay. Very technical explanation. Means to hide stuff. Okay, thank you guys. It's also hard to pronounce. I don't know who thought it's a fun word to say. It's not. All right, so missile mirror. Cool. That may be one of the coolest spells. Depends on what it will look like. It may be just missile resistance, but that's what we need. Any missile deflecting spells, they're or like accuracy lowering spells. Accuracy lowering spells literally don't work, and that's why they more or less get rid of it in Warhammer 2. But we need it for a healthy gameplay. Instead of trying to hide it in like huge AoE invisibility that Coat will have, we just need like range deflecting abilities. They will not completely, you know, shield you. They will just make it harder to hit, or actually make it harder to hit or something. Just Brits tries to be more exotic with word choice. Okay. You can see Missile Mirror as a trader. Cathay Mirror gonna be like ping pong. With a Sentinel Spotlight. Really? Alright, well, let's actually take a look then. So okay, so I did watch it, but apparently I missed it. So let's see. Is it here? Okay. All right, so they're marching in. No, not this one. Okay. This one. Okay. That can be cool. If this is exactly how it works, this is amazing mechanic. Okay. That can be absolutely like game changing. That can be super cool. I kind of missed it because I thought this is just a funny, you know, funny way to show it to us. I didn't know that it's an actual thing, but apparently it is. Which is, that's cool. Me like that. That's a missile mirror. Depends on the strengths of ability. Again, very good for blobs, but we'll not talk about that. Maybe we will. Okay. All right. Thank guys. That was very informative. Yeah. Well, like you say, there goes your Skaven supremacy. Maybe it will be just one valley, and then it's just nice gimmick abilities that you will never see, just like a Skaven whirlwind. Like everybody gets, you know, knocked around, but you actually never see it used ever in campaign or multiplayer. Giselle's may be just fine. Seriously, if Mizoshmi doesn't let you poop valleys back and forth for her, I'm gonna be upset. Maybe if you have enough of this, guys, maybe you can make like a nice little blob, like with 3 casters. Just pop the spell back every now and then. That would be very funny. Alright, Talons of Knights. That can be buffs, that can be very strong nuke. I don't know. And Ancestral Warriors. That can be a summon. So we will have another ultimate summon. Manticore summon will be, you know, we'll have it counterparts. Seriously, if Missile Mirror doesn't... Yeah. Alright. Mount Warhorde Jade Longma. I would assume Jade Longma is dragon, Pegasus dragon. So what did we get? So this one, from names, fairly simple, I think, but we will see. This one, just like This little word. I will not even try to say this word. I will say exotic. Okay, I'll say exotic instead. Talon sounds like a peace spell. Yeah, it does sounds like pure damage something. Blossom Wind. The thing is, sadly, there's only 2 words here. We cannot say too much about it. The Missile Mirror is the one that we definitely saw, and this one I'm pretty hyped about. Lord Magistrate. Okay, so that's a boring guy. Okay, Warhorse, Skylantern. Okay, I'm not sure what Jade Longmazen. Which one can... Alright, we'll have to see. Magistrate may ride aboard a Skylanter, commanding their troops from above with their more strategic view on the battlefield. It also can imagine keeps you somewhat out of harm's way. So they're not really a fighters or what? Interesting. If they're engaged and melee and warriors capable of holding their own against most enemies. Interesting. Vastly increase the bonuses received by troop holding hand with each other. Okay. So they're a buff guys. They are warrior priests. Yo, what's up? Grand Cathay heroes. Alchemist. Okay. Well, now we're in heroes. Alchemist is not a mage. Or is it? The lore of Yin, it is a mage. Are not the only magic practiced by Grand Cathay, they also are most favorite. Okay. Alchemist gravitates to the Iron Dragon in the west and the city of Shangyan precisely because of his uncommonly accepting the talents. Okay. Over the years, he has grown into a powerful cable that often sees the members hired by generals all over the empire. Escape. Okay. Hired? So, good. At least they're hired. This is Chinese society after all. But they're actually hiring. Let's go. They're hiring! You should look for a job here. Their potions imbue with the spells from Lore of Metal, as well as give unique buffs that can apply themselves on nearby units. Okay. Interesting. So they do get spells from Lore of Metal, from potions. This is very unique, kinda. Like, all of these scrolls that we have right now for like 1-use spells, I assume... Okay, no, never mind. Are not the only magic practices in Grand Cathay. Okay, so I assume that we will have Lore of Metal, Air, Yin, and Yang. And that's about it. Alright. But dude, for some reason, for a second, I thought that means that they will have their Lore of Magic. And then, which is, you know, what we just read. And then they will have an ability to craft Lore of Metal spells for themselves. Let's say like on campaign map or something. That would be very cool. And maybe in multiplayer we'll get like nice variety of them as well. Like, bam, you just casted, like, Syrian Doom on somebody. That's cool. The Sisters of Sigmar, not Sisters of Guild, yes. Yeah. Okay, Astromancer. Astromancers are accepted sorcerers of Grand Cathay practicing the Celestial Dragon Emperor's favorite Lore of Heavens. Will we get a new Lore of Heavens, or will Lore of Heavens will be garbage? That's a question. Because right now, Lore of Heavens is like by far the worst lore in the game. On top of the fact, a lot of factions get it, but on top of the fact, it's also the worst in campaign as far as I know as well. Or maybe one of the worst. Maybe Beasts are worse in campaign, I guess. I guess Heavens at least have some AoEs. Alright, so natural affinity between their leaders and other wings. Okay. After more than 5,000 years perfecting they're quite adept. Okay, question. How long do they live? Like, Empire Wizards don't live that long. They can extend their life, but as far as I know, not to the extremes. Curse Benders. Okay. They may be. And we're riding battle. And only once more so when riding to battle aboard. Okay, they have Luminarch. I would assume, right? Look, Wuxin War Compass. It's a War Compass. It sounds like Luminarch. Sub more? Cathay is dwarves. Why do you say Cathay is dwarves or not somebody else? All right, let's see. All right, peasant long spear boys. Okay, we saw these guys multiple times. They look pretty cool. Just Chinese guys. No, not a lot of armor on these guys whatsoever. Like all melee troops, peasants, lone spearmen are Yuan. Okay. Increasing their leadership. Alright, so they're Yan aligned. And melee defense, one with clone proximity of Yin. Okay, so now we know what this Yin and Yan mechanic does for these guys. It's not physical resistance, or it is melee defense though. Their lone spears give them fantastic charge defense when bracing. Okay. Don't talk about that. Oh, this doesn't work in our game. In our game, bracing still does not work. Even on beta, you can go test it yourself. That's the reason why I was not active in multiplayer almost like at all. Just because this does not work. The last 7 months was, for me at least, not a playable game. Making them a suitable anti-cavalry and anti-large force. Okay. Sure. As noted, the endless rank Grand Cathay are expendable. As noted, okay. I mean, you wouldn't call them actually expendable. They're still your human boys. Like, come on, you're not that bad. As expected to flee from battle when facing more than they can handle, which is, I assume, everything. Because they're not very good at bracing and making them super anti-large, and they are spear units, which means they will die to melee troops as well, like with the swords and stuff. So they cannot handle anything, but it's still good to have some chaff. Finishing the fight, okay. Sure. Jade Warriors. The Jade Warriors, okay, so we don't have an art for Jade Warriors. The Jade Warriors are Grand Cathay line troops. Interesting. So this is your line troops, and we do not have an art for their main line arm. Okay, sure. I guess the body spears, they're just fancy peasants. Okay. Charge defense is very good, I think. Okay. Well, not right now. There's standing army, expertly trained. Dude, they do not have that much time to even fix that as well. They said early 2022, right? They have just few months to fix the game. I mean, as far as I get it, in Warhammer 3, we have the same problem with Cavalry. As that's what I assumed. So, like, why wouldn't... Like, they need... Yo! Sup, leak! Oh, look at Guten Tag, dude. That's cool. Yes, Kevin's Secret DLC. Yes, Green Army of Better Chaff. Alright, so what do we have? In Stadium Army, expertly trained and well equipped to defend from ogres, rebels, and chaos. Okay, so and Skaven. Dude, Skaven are so secret. Like, look, we don't have Skaven here, but we do know that there is like Warpstone Desert here, which means there's a lot of Skaven nearby. But they're like, no, it's just like Empire. Skaven do not exist. Don't worry about it. Don't you worry about end times will never happen. Right? Running cannons that might come wandering in from Western North. Each city maintains its own regiment of Jade Warriors, and okay. And few make their home outside of non-metropolitan. Okay. They will head into battle armed with numerous possible. So they're a professional army. They maintain their own regiment. This is a professional guy. This is a state troopers, right? Or maybe better, I don't know. Collectively known as Warriors of Jade and Steel. The ranged firepower of Grand Cathay is what breaks the enemy, but the Jade Warriors... Okay, Soul Nages, Late Dragon Emperors. Sacred Stone must hold the line and cut down enemies who think them weak. Cut down enemies who think them weak. Okay, so I assume they're not that strong. Variants. Sword, Shield, and Halberd. So these guys we saw only like with a pike. This guy is Sword, Shield, and Halberd. Okay. Notable characteristic. Long trained to defend Grand Cathay. So I assume these guys will be like 500 each tops. Right? What do you think, guys? So this is we finally get to like units and like speculation. So I would assume these guys will be basically Bretonian peasants. Bretonian peasant spearmen at arms. So like 250 gold and expendable, because we did saw that somebody said names an expendable. Yeah, so expendable trade, most likely. And then we have these guys, which are mid-tier for human standards and low-tier for elven standards. So I would assume somewhere like 450, 500. With their armor, I think maybe up to 700. Okay, yeah, makes sense. I think they're closer to Soros. Soros are like very strong. Not sure. So like Soros are, remind you, they're a counterpart to a Chaos Warrior and a White Lion. White Lions are freaking defenders of Phoenix King. So this is like already like on the level of elite guys. Like you have a Longbeard for 700. I would assume this guy should not be as strong as Longbeards or something. They're just the state troopers. Maybe better. Lone trained to defend Grand Cathay against Lentils assaults. Great Wizards adopt the defensive stance when immobile. Interesting. What is that? They adopt a defensive stance when immobile, making them harder to charge and kill. I would assume they will have charge defense, but I don't know exactly what that means. It'll be Chaos Marauder tier or better Skeleton Warriors. Feel like their infantry is a bit better than Emperor Bread, does it? Well, this one looks just like Bretonian men-at-arms. And this one looks just like state troopers with armor, so... While the Harvard Blood Inferno unable to block missiles, okay, it is less to adapt of bedding in to take charge head-on and destroy any forces foolish enough. They may have a counter charge. Remember in Rome 2? There was, I think it was in Rome 2. There was a counter charge system. When you charge, you get hit back. Maybe that's what these guys will have, but we will see. That's kind of cool. So I would assume 500-ish troops. Yeah, maybe they both just have expert charge defense, and that's about it. Celestian Dragon Guard. So this is Great Swords or Tsar Guard. So I would assume these guys will be like top, not even foot squires. I would guess. Like even maybe Halberd variant will be like on a foot square tops. 100%, 50% of the time. Yeah. Okay. The longer comes. That's why you say they're like dwarves, because they have a charge defense. Dude, don't oversell your charge defense against all. Halberds had charge defense against all for like a very long time, and nobody ever was using them. And about armor, I would assume it will be like 70-ish or so. So it's not really armored. Grand Cathay elite soldiers are officially the Legion of the Dragon Emperor, his Lord Defenders. Okay. Okay. More and more added to the Celestial Host, which... Okay, so... Dragon Guards will be your official late game line troops. So it's like less... So like Phoenix Guards, full Phoenix Guard army is a little bit weird from, you know, lore perspective. I would assume full Dragon Guard army will be very normal from lore perspective. Their Alva represents an exponential increase of power to the army, not least to their moral boost. Oh, they have moral, so they have Encourage Aura. Wielding Halberds. They are... Okay. I would bet they're more than 500. Okay, maybe. They don't have a charge, they'll have buff the longer they stay still. Interesting. While the Halberd Mirror is enabled, it is no less at bedding in to take a charge head-on and destroy any forces fully in. Okay, maybe. Full increasing their charge resistance and armor. Yeah, you're probably right. Hello? That sounds like Swordmaster level of strength. These guys? No. These guys are not really. These guys are, you know, great sword or stronger slightly. Probably definitely strong. They're like 1,000 gold or so. Bolting Harvest are a natural opponent for the armored, as capable of experiencing the beasts of Chaos Wastes. Okay. However, the most well-trained units of Cathay are capable of defending against charge from anything, be it Chaos Warrior or Skaven Slave. Okay. So, as we see, they do beat Chaos Warriors. But, you know, Great Swords also beat Chaos Warriors, so not the greatest achievement. They're superior to their Great Warriors in every way but one. They're simply less Celestial Dragon Guard out there. Okay. This one a good question. So, like, you know, in campaign, oh, Sub-Zero. Yes, I just said Sub-Zero. Armor Tomb Guard. Yeah. So these guys, I would assume, will be like 1000 to 1100, and they will be just a very strong, like for a human standards, one like Marauder Great Weapon or so. So good, decent. So this is a good question. Less Celestial Dragon Guard out there. As we know, in campaign, after a certain point, like let's say turn 70 or so, you just never recruit these guys. The mid tier, which is supposed to be your line troops, get left behind very early into the game. Technically, you can literally skip these guys and never recruit them, because you probably can just recruit these guys, go to your range, and then start spamming Celestial Dragon Guard. So I'm not sure what does that mean. What less Celestial Dragon? Do they actually implement some sort of mechanic that will punish you for just spamming elite shit? I don't know. Or maybe this would be much better if I would buff mid-tier units to the level of these guys. That would be pretty cool. Okay. Rip. Grand Cathay Missile Infantry. Unit count? I would assume 75. Maybe actually even 90, but I would assume 75. So unit counts for these guys would be either 90 or 120. We'll say 90. Like I'm saying in classic multiplayer standards. So for campaign, it would be 120 for these guys, you know, for a maximum. 120 for these guys. And what, like 90 or 100 for these guys, right? Am I saying it right? I think I'm saying it right. Unit entity steps depth guard. Unit count of 60. Celestial Dragon Guard? No way. They're just great swords in terms of unit count. Grand Cathay missile units, peasant archers. So that's like 100. Like you see, they basically they put their higher status as they can defeat a Chaos Warrior. So this is their their lowest Skaven Slave, and their highest is Chaos Warrior, because they're a halberd unit, So in terms of melee prowess, they will be around the greatsword unit, which I assume 75 model. Yeah. No, depth guards definitely not on. Like depth guards have even less models than chosen, which makes sense lore-wise because they're vampires, but doesn't make sense like gameplay-wise. These guys will be a classic elite unit, 75 or so. Peasant archers. Archers considered notable. Okay, notable characteristic. As any range unit in most container, peasant archers are yin aligned, receiving bonuses when close to yang units. Also expandable. Okay. Yes. So they also expand. Good enough. Though slightly less expected to be the thickest thing. Okay. Or despite their mighty number, decent training. Mighty number. They may have higher numbers of range combatants, which is interesting. Like as you know, in general in this game, range have less models. Right? Range units have less models than melee troops. These guys maybe not the case. And decent training. The gear of peasantry is seemingly unlikely to cause much damage to heavily armored foes. Okay, so just an archer, no AP. I would assume just peasant archer or so level. Bretonian peasant archer. So peasant state troops and great swords that looks on steroids. So these ones I would assume will be like, stronger great swords, because they're halberd unit. They're supposed to still defeat a Chaos Warrior, so I would assume like 1,000 gold or so. Iron Hail Gunners, the closest we can get to Old War shotgun. Does anyone remember Old War shotgun? Can anyone explain it to me? Like, I don't know what Old War shotgun mean, but sure. The Iron Hail Gun is a short-range blunderbuss that can rip. Okay, so we have the only shotgun weaponry that we have is zombies. Zombies have it. When does the Celestial got me more comparable to any elite halberds and a great sword? No, I mean in terms of their strengths. Elite halberds most of the time are stronger than a great, like much stronger than a great sword. The cheapest elite halberd is what is like I wouldn't call Tunguards elite. Tunguards are like mid tier. So like elite halberd starts from 1200 or so. That's temple guards. And I bet freaking my ass on these guys are not as strong as temple guards. They may have the same unit count, but say they're not fucking temple guards. No way. Do they have frost hearts? Okay, dude. Okay, Robane. Okay. Notable characteristic. The strength of gunpowder gives this units a heavy armor piercing punch. Okay, cool. So this is like a short range AP. We already have blunderbusses in zombie army. RLs are shotguns that were used before the arrow of musket. Okay. Yes, they are new units though. Doesn't mean they should be like, you know, insanely power creeped immediately. I don't think they need to do it to make them good. The range is much shorter. Okay. However, this can be quite an advantage when used to keep a useful position and harmony. And for harmony, so for their buff, and still. Wait. So does the harmony buff works on range unit as well, or harmony it's this buff that yin and yang, you know, alignments. So let's go a little bit back, just a little bit. So the lore of no. Where is this yin and yang buffs? Non-character acrobatizer. Okay. So no, it doesn't say that that's harmony. Okay. Okay. What this harmony means in particular? Interesting. Melee units get melee from harmony. Okay, so it does. Okay, so harmony is how they call it. This yin, this alignments of yin and yang. Okay, makes sense. The range. Okay, good. Crane gunners. Mighty crane gunners require 2 people to. Okay. One is positioned as a trigger, ready to speed. The other carries a tower shield. Okay, so these ones are on your page, like we saw these guys. So this like little bombs. Notable characteristics. Safe artillery will outrange anything on the battlefield. Oh. They are Giselles. Oh no. I thought they're low range. Whoops. Range and precision are nothing to scoff at, especially in the... Okay. Well... Did we want it? Empire with Giselles and dragons. Did we? Good question. Yin and Yang together in harmony. That makes sense, dude. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. They're literally Giselles. They are Giselles and their range is Giselles. I thought they have like low range, so they will be like little grenade launchers, but they're just literally range. Armor piercing rounds, heavy shields, just Giselles. 2 people for the price of 1 bargain. Okay, don't say that. We know that they will have less models in a unit, but yes. Yes, we did, because that means Nippon and Kamen. Well, sure. I mean, if Nippon will sell, they will produce it for sure. Your Norscan heart is bleeding. I don't know why. Like, Norscan don't really struggle with scaving that much, don't they? Crossbowmen as a ranged backbone of the Grand Cathay army, assigned to Great Warrior. Okay, so this is your mid-tier warriors look like. Not gonna lie, they look lit. I love it. Look at their armor. That looks pretty rad. Yes, Nippon is fantasy samurais. Let the weeps run into Warhammer 3. Yeah, that will sell for sure. Okay. While Grand Cathay brings powerful magic and giant magic, is less... Okay. For a lantern, may beyond the poorer cities. Okay. So, do they mount? Okay, this guy's mount or something? The crossbow is a close to industry production handcraft weapon in Grand Cathay get. Question is, do they have IP or not? Is this all other crossbows, or it's like repeat your crossbows for Dark Elves? It makes Jet Warriors equipped with crossbows and mainstream city defense. Okay. Outrange their opponent and defeat them before they get within striking distance. Interesting. So I would assume this is your, armored crossbow, relatively high price, definitely higher price than uh, than basic Jade Warriors, just like Sea Guards and Spears. I would assume so. I don't know, maybe not. So these guys definitely cost more than Dark Shards. The Kragus were worse than Western ones, less AP for sure. If this is repeat your crossbow, actual repeat your crossbow for Chinese one, that it shouldn't have any AP, it shouldn't have much range, but it should have super rate of fire, right? But I'm not sure what exactly that would look like. So crossbow and shield. So I would assume this is armored Dark Shard. Question is, do they have AP or not, or do they have just armor? Because if they don't have armor, if they don't have AP and they have only armor, that means they may be like relatively close to Dark Shards, but not quite. Here's the thing, like, Dark Elves do look armored. When you take a look at Dark Elf models, they have armor on them. So even though these guys look armored, they may have just 40 armor like Dark Shards and be done with it. Notable characteristic, while their armor weighs them down, okay, never mind. They do have armor. And it with weight and shit. Why these guys have armor while Dark Elven and High Elven like do not, and they have 40? I don't know. They will defeat peasant archers in all areas. That increase armor, especially when proving shield, makes them difficult for the archer rangers to trace them effective, especially if they have a shield. While not a melee troop, will happily survive and even defeat lesser foes in the mid. So yeah, I would assume that's like a Sea Guard thing. So like 750 or so. So much more than Jade Warrior. So I would assume Jade Warrior will cap. Like maybe Jade Warrior with Halberd will be like 700 and Jade Warriors will be like 600 or so. Right? Maybe Dark Shards with better melee stats. If they have IP, crossbow, if they have IP, this is the strongest unit in the game right here. Aren't they fighting the Chaos Warriors, Kurgans, fake Mongols, and they probably won't need IPs, so... Well, I mean, you need IP against Chaos Hordes. So I'm not sure about that. Celestial Dragon Crossbowmen. Celestial Dragon Crossbowman. Jeez, what the fuck is that? When the Celestial host combined name of various section of Dragon Guard makes war. Okay. Wow. Crane Gunners will... The Train Dragon are repeating powerhouse with armor-piercing bolts. Okay, so I would assume these guys will not have IP, the basic one. So they are literally... So the Jade Warriors are literally Sea Guards, I would assume so, with armor, but less stats. Armor, less stats, same price. While these guys have IP bolts. So this is a Doomstack army right there. Just spam of Celestial Dragon Crossbowmen, and you just shoot everything. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, this is pretty OP, I would say. With the best armor in Grand Cathay, very little can stand. Notable characteristic: Crane Gunners will outrange and outdamage, and the Celestial Dragon Guard are harder. Okay, so well, we already see how campaign will look like, right? They're like warriors, no? No, this guy is supposed to be like stronger warriors. Yeah, like warriors have no melee stats whatsoever. They have armor, they have shield, but these guys may have like, bigger shield and stronger melee stats. At least, yeah. Yeah, OP but nice. So shields and protected willpower. Okay, so they do have shields, armor piercing value. Volleys. While not a true hybrid, also more capable of holding their own. Okay, so that's OP. This unit can go all the way to like 1200 cost. This may be like Sisters of Avalorn for Cathay. I'm not sure what to think about that. Giselle, I would damage the crossbow. No. No, these crossbows will definitely have more DPS than Giselle's. That's 100% given. Giselle's have, you know, good range, decent survivability, not cost that much, like, you know, 900 or so. While these guys, damn, that's Sisters of Avalorn for. That's pretty lame. Shades level, Sister of Avalorn, not Wave Watcher though. Well, you say not Wave Watcher. Not in range capabilities, but they have shield. They will outshoot these Wave Watchers easily. Yeah, sounds very expensive, like high tier Dark Shard. Think Tangerous with melee stats. Celestial Dragon Crossbowmen? I would assume that's literally Sister of Avalorn, but instead of stats, you have armor and shield. And of course, no like fire damage and shit. Armored Shield Sisters with higher rate of fire. Not sure because about higher rate of fire. That's we will see. They probably crossbows have low rate of fire more, but it doesn't matter. Their damage will be still good. Outshooting the web watching shouldn't be possible. Well, you say it, but that's what you see. Like in terms of they have shield. The shield will protect them and they will shoot back, right? Simple math. Like 2 Wave Watchers can get outshot by 3 Sea Guards very easily. And 3 Sea Guards cost less, right? Yeah, they cost less than 2 Wave Watchers. Giving Pavis crossbows vibes. Yes, it is Pavis crossbow. So, I mean, I know they don't have an art for that, but that's how they're gonna look. That looks strong. That looks pretty OP. If you ask me, I mean, whoever said it's like better dwarves, I would say it is better Empire or better High Elves. Not sure about better dwarves. So far, I didn't saw a single dwarf thing, besides the fact that they will get some bonuses when stand still. But state troops also just most of the time stand still. So I would say this is insane Empire. Well, repeater crossbows, you know, repeater crossbows for Dark Elves, they have super low rate of fire, but they have super high damage because they shoot 2 projectiles at a time. Makes sense, right? Grand Cathay Cavalry and Chariots, well, that's what I'm here for. Oh yeah, look at these bad boys. Fuck yeah. This shit looks so cool. I know it's just a hybrid, right? It's like not very creative, right? Like making hybrids is technically not that creative. Like, oh look, it's just a dragon horse. You combine dragon with any animal, it will look good. Dragon freaking toads, dragon frogs. But damn, boy. Okay, peasant horsemen. They have peasant horsemen. The fastest Cathanian unit that can fly will deploy ahead of main arm vanguard, like foot melee units currently belong to Yan. Wait, Yan? Oh yeah, Yan is melee. Yeah, makes sense. Jade Lancers. Put a Jade Warrior with all of their training and... Okay. This is not this guys, right? Slower but heavier than standard horsemen, Jade Lancers will deal extra damage to infantry formations they crash into. Not sure what that means, because we know that like anti-infantry bonuses on cavalry don't really work. Can't fly? How could they, right? Why their peasants can't fly, huh? Yeah. Golden helms look expensive. They're also great on the defense, heavily armored, so that's Emperor Knights. Conform with the Grand Cathay defensive nature, they are far hardier than other factions cavalry of similar sort. Emperor Knights, right? The Lancer look kinda like Emperor Knights. That looks just like Emperor Knights, which is good. Empire Knights are one of the like most reliable cavalry that ever been in this game. They're just good. Technically, they're not the best by any means. Like Bretonnian cavalry basically all of their cavalry is better. But, you know, good to have. That's very nice. This art is not for this though. Great Longma riders. Okay, so Longma is this flying thing, dragon blooded. But yeah, let's not talk about how horses get their dragon blood. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Riet to riser on. Okay. Okay. Fly into battle along elements of the. This is elements of celestial host. Okay. There's a solution to end these problems on the battlefield from enemy flyers of the heart. Okay. So there's ground ones and flying ones. Makes sense. While Grand Cathay is often focused on dealing damage from afar, anything. Another fucking range faction. Yeah. Okay, their speed and power on the charge and strength of their armor is unmatched. Such is the strength on Longman charge that the enemies have been known to flee in fear before. Okay, so they may have like fear or tear, whatever. Longman. So let me just check again who can write what. So their lord Jade Longman. So their dragon riders, they're dragon blooded, can ride a Jade Longma, but nobody else can. This thing is like Celestial Hurricaneum or something, Warhorse. This is interesting. Okay, Dragon Horse, full forges. You know, yeah, this it's okay. So what did we get? So they get, of course, OP riders, elite cavalry. However, elite cavalry is a very like weird spot in our game, right? Like in campaign, elite cavalry like almost never worth it to build, right? Just in campaign, cavalry is shit in general. In multiplayer, it's a very different story though. In multiplayer, elite cavalry sometimes, especially like right now, for example, the meta is so weird that elite cavalry are better than mid-tier cavalry, just because they outclass everything else too much. There's too much chaff on the field, and elite cavalry in general are better at, you know, right now at sustaining hits. So we will see. I hope they will finally, like, it actually pains me to even talk about this meta. Damn, so bad. But we have Peasant Horsemen, Empire Knights, and Pegasus Knights, plus probably some sort of Dragon Princess or something. Great Lancers are proper cataphracts, if they are super armored, but not sure. I don't think they're a proper cataphracts because I don't see that much armor in general on the roster. Like we saw the art, right? The art is, as you see right here, they're not very armored. I don't think they're like the proper cataphracts in our game are like Dragon Princess or Chaos Knight. They have 120 armor. They're super tanky. These guys, I would say more like Pegasus Knights or Grail Knights, which is still very strong. So I'm not sure how, like, what will be their strength level. Elite Cavalry more or less have similar strength level, somewhere around like 1400, 1500 cost wise. Yeah, it doesn't look like super heavy armor, so they may have like 90 armor like a Grail Knight. I'm guessing Longmail will be somewhere around Royal Pegasus Knight level. Yeah, I would assume so as well. Okay, so Grand Cathay constructs. We all saw this dumb golem thing. So here we go, big dumb golem. The ultimate Cathay defense in their settlements. Big giant, very cool. Truly alien for the most armies in the world. Dude, you can give this model to like this concept of like a live statue, like a live statue of Sigmar for Empire, like a live Dwarven statue for Dwarves, right? You already have a live Dirt statue for like a Great Beacon for Greenskins. You can make this big guys like your Treeman for Woodell. You can make this big guy for any faction and it will work. It's just big fantasy thing. Very lame, but that's okay. Like Hera Titan. Yeah, it's like whatever. So we already get SKP destroying steam tanks and city gates. What? SKP destroying steam tanks and city gates at this lane waste to enemy armies. Okay, dude. They are like they are already trash talking our steam tank guys. Come on. Will we take it? I guess we have to. Damn. Damn, that's a big trash talk to our steam tank boys. We can expect the tier sentinels to have Toonkin-like mechanics to recruit in campaign. Yeah, most likely. Okay. Okay, here is the Skylantern. So here they are. Ooh! Skylanterns. Who can again be mounted on Skylantern from heroes? Let's see. Skylantern. Okay, so Lord Magistrate can ride Skylantern. Pretty cool. So Skylantern serves a dual purpose. They are often crewed with Magistrate or other commanders. So far we saw only one commander, but that's okay. However, they're also crewed by 4 Crane Gunners sitting on an armored carriage. Aha. 4 Giselles. Crane Gunners are Giselles, right? Let me just check really quick. Crane Gunners. Yes. This is cheesy as fuck. Mounted Giselles, but I would assume not be super cost effective, so just annoying. I mean, you love your like to fight against Half Riders, right? Half Riders are your favorite unit in the game, right, guys? Can I get like something in chat to say that yes, you love it, and you really wanted to see Giselles mounted on these guys, so they will have like low DPS for only Giselles, but super annoying to deal with because they're in the air, so the only thing can, you know, deal with them are your own air units that probably will get shot on the way, or your range units that these guys can probably outrange themselves. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, exactly. To kill. Yes, Half Riders are the most fun unit in the game. Yes. Yes. Or, yeah, exactly. Or Dwarven Copters. Everybody loved Dwarven Copters. Hooray! It's a generic did they have a lot more fun with their landlocked cousins. Yes, okay. So notable characteristic. While glacial, okay, they're very slow though. Okay. Not Half Riders, they're not a hybrid unit, they're more like very slow copters with super long range. The cheap Lantern seems like an easy way to trigger their half money bonus. That's also true, if they have it, even. Oh, they are Yin and Metal. Okay, yes, they do. Oh, of course they trigger bonus. Okay, slow and move around the battlefield and provides much needed vintage point. Okay, allowing them to spot enemies. Dude, nobody needs this in our game. The spotting in our game is useless for the most part. Again, more range, more air units do not spot more. The best spotting unit in our game right now is a caster that mounted on a steed, like on a flying steed, because he can like spirit leech enemy immediately, and he is very small target, very hard to kill, very easy to dodge as well. It's okay though. The Crane Gunners are truly deadly. Nothing in between them and their targets. They do not have to stop to fire. They can see all from above. Yeah, true. Like, but you design it. You designed this unit like this. Why do you do it to us? Why do you like design? Like, the thing is, I think it's kind of fine just because, just by nature of air flyers, unless it's something like a deck dropper, they will not be cost effective on their own. They will be just super annoying. Super annoying to deal with. Skyjunk. Good name. Skyjunk. Spokojnej noci. Skyjunk is a more warship that's simple battlefield units. Its humongous size supports great guns, project shrapnel, and oncoming corps, wiping out the full battle lines. Within the armored carrier beneath the main balloon are a host of bombs. Okay. A larger and more deadly Skylantern packed with the soldiers and spew range rockets on enemies. This is way more interesting unit. Because this one I assume it's like low range and slow. So this is hard to move, hard to use, but great payoff. Can drop makeshift bombs. Oh yeah, hell yeah. drop bombs on people. Slow and near useless once and out of ammunition. So, slow sky bombers. Okay. This is way more interesting unit, because this one, you need to counter it somehow. But at the same time, like, I assume this is more expensive unit just based on pure size. So this one way more payout. This is a cool unit. This is a better design as well. You need to actually work to make this unit pay, most likely. Surely a Flying Hailstorm. This one have low... Wait. Wait. Did you say that it has high range? Project Shrapnel. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they don't have low range. Maybe they have like high range. You don't like the flying war wagons? No. The junk seems to be single entity. So one is chaff clear and the other one does not snipe one. Yeah, I agree. So technically, hello multiplayer. So in multiplayer, these things a very like you can make full army of these things. From the beginning, it will be meme. Then it will be just pure cheese, and it will be super annoying to deal with. But I guess like the thing is, factions are not fairly equipped to deal with this type of bullshit, right? Somebody like Greenskins don't have as much to deal with this stuff. They don't have flyers basically whatsoever, and they have only skirmish cav. In most okay. Let's see. Grand Cathay war machines. Crying counts. Counts actually I think will be fine because we don't see that many answers, that many counters. Actually, if they have like, I think you will be fine as counts though, right? Right, guys? I don't know. I think it will be fine because you can just kill it with one unit of bats. I would assume so. Like one unit of bats can probably kill like a Skylantern. They say it's like useless in melee. So I think counts will be fine. All right, so war machines. Hello? Test, test. Okay. Will Lizardmen have a hard time against Cathay? Yes, everyone will have hard time against Cathay. Helman Gords can just one-shot it with Gaze of Nagash. True. What about Beastmen? Beastmen have Manticores and Harpies. So... I think they will be fine. In multiplayer scene. That's what I'm talking about. Like in campaign, I have no idea how their armies will look like, how their economy will look like, how many armies and what, you know. Like for example, Empire, just basic stack of Empire is very easy to deal with, but because they spam it, they're big potentially empires that have lots of stacks that will just spam them against you. They're relatively hard to deal with, but you know, in multiplayer, I would assume Beastmen shall be fine. They just take you just have to take 5 air units every time, but as soon as you take it, this guy is just food for you. Demi cannons in Empire. So there's a big fucking cannon. While being Grand Cathay most basic foreign materials, they still pack huge fire more than capable of trapping monsters on city walls. The flaming armor piercing projectile will make short work. More mobile. So there are more mobiles than in other factors. Faster. Interesting. I mean, fast artillery don't really care that much. Oh, here you go. That's a cool one. So, Wuxing War Compass. What is that? Perhaps the oldest part of Grand Cathay Armory is miniaturized version of the Great Compass engraved into the floor of Celestial Court high above Wendring. Is a powerful tool to manipulate the elemental winds. Okay, it's a little orb that helps with winds of magic. Is this like Celestial Hurricaneum or something? Hell yeah. Imbued with the power of heavens. Notable characteristic. A mountain spellcaster with access to unique long-range spells that deal extreme damage to enemy formations. Luminarch? That's a Luminarch, right? That's like Celestial Hurricaneum or Luminarch. Right? More than capable of tearing out the ground and crushing hand. Okay. Range and sword power increase speed thanks to control of the elemental winds. This is interesting. So I would assume it's just Luminarch. Kislev get bear artillery. Well, the thing is, that's all they got. Kislev have only like a bear artillery, and that's it. And these things got basic artillery, which looks very good. Then they have Luminarchs. Then they have fire range rockets. Okay, that's what we needed to see for. Okay, that's the last unit. So what did we get? So Hell blasters, right? No, not Hell blasters. Rocket batteries. So what do we get? Let's just compile a little list. We get let's actually like immediately compile a little list of that. So immediately with I can do it actually in chat. Can I do it in chat? Yeah, okay. So let's just do so immediately with prices. So we will get like general idea of how the roster works, right? So let's just go through everything. It's actually not that much, so we didn't get that much. So we get Miao Ying, a Dragon Empress, should cost like 3k, 4k, ridiculous cost plus, right? Easily. Then oops. Oh, shift doesn't work like here. Oh, okay. I guess I have to do it in like a little additional file, right? Like in a little text file. Yeah, I'll just do it in Notepad and then copy it. In Europe, how could you counter Cathay? All right, so yeah, let's just quickly make a recap of army and see how well they, because we know how Empire works, right? It's obvious, like Cathay is like looks the most like Empire so far. I say like Empire, it actually doesn't, because it's like more like freaking Britannia with a P. It's like so good. All right, so Miao Ying. So 3k, 4k plus. Same with another Dragon Emperor, Zhao Ming. So same stuff, 3k, 4k plus, right? Zhao Ming. Did I say that right? Yes. Then Dragon-Blooded Lord. That's interesting. Dude, everybody says it's like way closer to dwarves. But the thing is, like, especially in multiplayer, dwarves rule with like super cost-effective infantry. Like that's their main thing. That's what allows their range units to deal damage. The range units also kind of lower tier, but they're just cost-effective. That's their thing. Dwarves don't have any cavalry whatsoever, but their stuff is super. Like I don't see how these guys are super cost-effective, but they're like kind of good tiers, high tier and shit. Like that's what makes dwarves viable. Like even if you bring a pure counter to dwarves, it's still kind of hard to deal with them. Jagged Blooded. I would assume like Vampire Coast, like around 800, 900 base, right? Something like this. And so like kitted out, it would be like around like 2k plus. So that's like a decent, like a vampire basically characters on a steed. Lord Magistrate. I actually have no idea what these guys do and why they even exist. Magistrate. I would assume they can be mounted on a Skylantern, but why? Oh yeah, they have buffs. So I'll assume like let's go with, I don't know. What do you think? Power creeps are, so how power creeps? That's what I want to try to figure out. In terms of their price, I get the Kislev price more or less to the dot. So we will see. Maybe they buff Yin Yang bonuses. Yeah, they do. So they have some buffs. So they're like Archlector or so. So same 700 base and like 1500 kitted out. By kitted out, I mean just you drop some abilities, you get some abilities. Hey, what's up here? Aloha. So we have Alchemist. That's just a mage. Alchemist don't look to be any like good and melee, right? So they're just a mage. So just a mage should be like around 300 base and around you know, defense on a kit. They have only Warhorse, so around like 800 kitted out. Classic mage. Classic mage. Nothing. So far it's very standard. So we have Dragon Blood Emperor, who is like a vampire strengths. We have Lord Magistrate, who is just Archlector strengths. We have Astromancer. That's more interesting. So Astromancer, I would assume will be like a fighting guy. You know, this Earthbender, right? Да не, недолго еще. They seem to be necrotects. Yeah. Astromancer, so like 800-ish. I guess, I don't know, maybe like around like 700 base and like again like 1200 kitted out. Maybe like 1100 or so. Oh, I don't think they will have that many abilities and stuff. Okay, so now interesting part. So infantry, we get peasant spearman. We literally have peasant spearman cost 250. Bretonian peasant spearman. Jade warrior. Jade warriors. So I would assume Jade warriors halberd. So we get sword, swords and halberds. So swords will be, let's say, like Goreherd or Dryad, and the halberd will be like, let's go with 600 and 700. Let's go high. I think this is what we more or less figure out, right? Jade warriors, and then Celestial Dragon Guard, Dragon Guards, also halberd unit. I would assume around 1,000, maybe 11,000, 1,100. Not sure. Like, they don't look that strong, but we will see. Actually, it's kind of weird to have like a halberd that close, so let's just say that they cost close, like 550 and 600 for a swords and a halberd. I don't know. Just gonna keep it like this, it's fine. Well, like, for the most part, halberds cost more, right? Yeah, shit ton of range stuff. This faction, yeah, this faction is about just a shit ton of range. So far, it's super heavy range faction. Like they have just 4 infantry units. So this is what I would assume so far. Let's see. Oh, why didn't work? Okay. Oh. There we go. So this is what I assume so far. Did we get Kislev prices? Yes, we did get Kislev prices. And I actually get them almost right. So for example, the Kislev cheapest unit cost 500 gold spaghetti. Get what I mean? Their cheapest unit cost more than Wood Elf or Dark Elf cheapest units. Kislev is ridiculously expensive. Like he's super, I would say, mid-tier to top heavy, which is kind of bad for a design perspective. I think it's also just bad gameplay wise as well. So I'm not sure why do they do it. Chaff is very good in general, and we still didn't get a single Chaff unit for Kislev, which, like, it doesn't mean there will never be a Chaff unit. It just says that, like, so far there is none, which makes it kind of sad. But they got buried, so it's fine. Anyone have link to Kislev prices? I can drop it in my Discord after that. So, yeah. I'll need to find it first. So, Peasant Archers, 350, right? Peasant Archers, or 400. Let's go 350 like Empire Archers. I'd assume they shouldn't be very strong. Because they're not Longbow Archers, right? Iron Hail. So, Iron Hail guns. So, Iron Hail guns. This is, I would assume around like 600 or 6... What is the price for a pirate shotguns? Price for pirate shotguns, 600 or so, or 500? Let's go 700 for Iron Hail. Great. Right, so Crane Gunners, I would assume 900, just they're basically Giselles, more or less. 1k for mediocre halberds. No, 1k for elite halberds. So I'm not sure about that. Jade Warrior Crossbowmen. So these guys, I don't know. I will just give them 800. Just they're basically sea guards. That's what I see. Jade crossbows. So 800. And Celestial Dragon Crossbowman. Celestial Dragon Crossbow. So Dragon Crossbows are, I would assume 1100s. I just see Sisters of Avalon here. I'm not sure what will be their price. Like some people say, oh, it's just Thunderers with bigger, melee stats. Sapronian, are they gonna be elite like Stormvermin? I would say they will be elite like Marauders, Marauder Champions, great weapons, like 1000 to 1100. Will the shifts for crossbow be like plus 50, plus 100? Yeah, I would assume so. Crossbows, Jade, crossbows, shields, like 850 or so. Depends on how much shields give. So yeah, I would assume Dragon crossbows will be like literally Sisters of Avalon, which is already ridiculous. Like based on what we see here, it's AP, it's shield, and it's a big shield with all the shields. So they have AP, big shields, and decent and melee. And armor. That's a big thing though. Like, there's not that many armored range units, and every time there is, they have to pay something. Like, for example, dwarves, they armored, but, you know, dwarves pay a lot. They don't have, like, any variety whatsoever, just infantry. Grand Cathay, Cavalry, and Chariot. So, Peasant Horsemen, 400, very straightforward. We already have them for Britannia. Then we have Jade Lancers. Jade Lancers, I would say 900, just, you know, Empire Knights. Empire Knights, maybe slightly stronger, maybe slightly weaker. Maybe Silverhams, but armor instead of speed. We will see. And, like, less melee stats, but bonus against infantry. We're not sure. And the last two cavalry units, Great Longma Riders. Longma Riders. I would assume 1500 and 1600 for flying ones. Like, literally like Pegasus Knights and Grail Knights. Royal Pegasus Knights and Grail Knights. That's what I assume. Based on how they look, that's about right. They may have like IP and shit. Like, if you have Dragon Seed, you have to have some sort of bonuses to it, right? Grand Cathay Constructs. Terracotta Sentinels, that's 2k, right? It's literally... it's like literally Hero Titan, right? Am I right? Terracotta Sentinel. And they also they also freaking shit on our Steam tanks. How could they? Stream. No, I'm not playing this game. Right now this game is like, ow. Ouch. I will be playing tomorrow though on Turin stream. But I kind of just want to like test myself out and just let a nice fat L from Alfredina. That's my plan. We will see. Maybe I can train a little bit and try to beat him up though. With no spells, might go down to 800. 1800. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. The thing is, this thing is a counterpart to Big Bear, and Big Bear is like 2200 because he's unbreakable. So, yeah. Skylanterns. Okay. What is Skylanterns? How much do they cost? I would assume they will cost like war wagons. So I will literally give them a war wagon cost of 850. I don't think they are that expensive. And Skyjunk is like 1,000 or so. I would assume it will be like just like Gyro Bomber. How much Gyro Bomber cost? 1100, right? Is this Sentinel gonna be unbreakable or crumble? Unbreakable and crumble, I would assume so. Definitely cannot route. I don't see how this thing can route. Grand Cannon. I would assume 800 like all cannons. Maybe 900 just because. Let's call it 850. I'm not sure how, like, is it better than Empire Cannon or worse? Not sure. Okay. Xu War Compass. Okay, so War Compass, that's interesting. War Compass. I will say random number, like 1400. I'll just make this number up because I have no idea what it will be. If it would be like what's the cost of Luminarch? I think it's 1400, right? So I would assume War Compass is like Luminarch, so 1400. Fire Rain Rockets. What's the cost of what's the cost? Just bring 5 balloons and 4 Peg Knights versus VC. You cannot, because there is maximum 5 air units. So you can have 5 balloons and no Peg Knights. Because it's limited to 5. Exactly. And bumper counts, 5 air will probably be fine. Okay, so fire range rockets. How much they cost? No, 1900 is a big one. I'm talking about non-ROR. How much Hellblaster rocket battery or whatever, Hellstorm rocket batteries? Like 1100, 1200, 1050? How much it costs? I think I would assume fire range rockets cost the same, or like maybe No, they're not 950. I don't think there is a single artillery that costs 950. But yeah, it's like the Hellstorm rocket batteries. How much they cost? Not on a Google. 1100 base. Let's just go call this thing 1100. It's okay. So that's basically it. So we have a full roster. It's not actually that big. So far, like the unit reveal was not. So we have 4 infantry. This is the range units. Oh. Just a sec. Okay. This is the range units that I assume. Peasant Archers 350, Iron Hail Guard 700, Crane Gunners 900, Jade Crossbowmen 800, and Dragon Crossbowmen 1100, which is ridiculous. So the range roster is super strong. Lumi is 1700, 1900. Okay. So I'll just give the War Compass like a Luminar cost 1700 because I have no idea what it is, but it looks like you know, Luminarch. So here we go. ROR Peasant Spears. Yep, we probably will have it. 1050 for Hellstorm. Okay. Well, 1100 for this thing is okay. So this is their specials. As far as I get it. And just a sec. Here we go. So we get Sentinel around 2k. Not sure how, like how much less. I don't think he will go more than 2k, but he may. We don't know. Skylanterns 850. That's his flying war wagons. I don't think they will be that expensive because they're supposed to be like slow and their DPS probably not super high, but they're super good snipers with super long range. Skyjunk, I assume like 1000, 1100. It's like a slow Gyro Bomber. Like a Gyro Bomber have 11 bomb. Gyro Bomber is a good unit. It also probably better in melee than this thing. Which doesn't save that much. Gyro Bomber is shit in melee anyway. Grand Cannon 850, War Wagon Compass 1700. Yeah, that looks right. And now the main thing for me. That's what I think Cavalry will look like. And not gonna lie, I think this is enough to make Britannia cry. Like, this faction, I know people compare it to Dwarves, I'm comparing it to Chaos and Empire, but I think the main nail in the coffin here is I think, is Britannian basically identity. They have peasants, they have mid-tier troops, they have peasant archers, and they have way better range in general. And the thing is, they do have Pegasus Knights, which basically means that they're more or less, and they have like a dragon, so their air superiority is pretty strong. If you can't pop the air balloons with one shot, I'll riot. It just seems like in amalgamations of good things. Yeah, I don't see a single bad unit. Can you like see a bad unit? Like Peasant Horseman 400 or so? Like I would assume so, because that's how much Peasant Horseman cost in our game for Britannia. It's a dog. It's a unit of hounds. They're good for chasing things down, right? Like it's basically always worth it to just have it against the factions that can rout, right? Just one Peasant Horseman. Especially in a faction when you cannot have peasants for 100 gold, you can have only peasant for 250, I would assume so, the Spear Boys. They'll probably have to pay the passive. True. Or maybe their stats will be just lower, and they need to retain their good stats with passive. Maybe the Jade units will be too expensive. That might make them bad. Yeah, maybe. Only way the roster could get better is cheap shields that they all don't have. So the only shielded unit, the thing is they have shields on the right unit. Their cavalry looks like have shields, right? Let's take a look. Yeah, Their cavalry have a shields, right? Their infantry that cost nothing don't have shields, which you don't need. And then infantry that cost something have either armor or shield. Sword and shield right here. And the main thing is the range units have shields. Like, this guy, Celestial Dragon Crossbow, shields. This is a huge thing. Sisters of Avalon with shields, with less melee stats, is... and armor is kinda OP. Google heavy Mongolian cavalry. That's what Cathay needs to fight hobgoblins. Oh, yeah, they actually don't have it, which I like. At least that. What will they do versus dwarves? That's actually a good question, Zero. They don't seem to be very well equipped to fight dwarves at all. Their artillery doesn't look like super accurate, right? So I don't think it will do well against in artillery fight. Their cavalry more or less useless against dwarves, and the main things that you need against dwarves is cost-effective infantry. That's what I was talking about. They're not dwarves. I don't know why people say they're dwarves. Their artillery pieces are literally Empire artillery pieces, just 1-to-1. Their state troop and their infantry is basically Empire infantry or like Bretonnian infantry. It's not, well, of course, besides Celestial Dragon Guard, but it's a halberd unit. They're not gonna help you, for example, against dwarves that much. They may struggle against dwarves. Can be like a pure counter to these guys. They don't have chariots. They don't have. They actually have like nothing really to kill dwarves. So we were just talking about they like have like all of these good things. They have super like so much anti-large, so much sniping, so much cheesy bullshit with air, and yet they are missing on a simple anti-infantry or even like cost-effective stuff. So maybe their only way to fight dwarves, it would be some very weird cheese strats. Like you have like, let's say, only range units and monsters. That's it. And you just kill infantry with like attrition of monsters and magic in late game. Maybe that will be the only way they can fight it. Unlike Empire, they have better monster variety. So I don't think they will struggle as much, but we will see. Even Kislev will struggle against dwarves. Kislev? Kislev may be fine. I don't know. Kislev may be fine. Because they do have AP troops. They have Streltsy, right? Which should do fine. Kislev have... So the thing is like... Zero about decent infantry. Kislev does have as their elite infantry as anti, like with sword and shields. Like, you know, the Dragon Guards, they have sword and shield version. It's the question is how much it will help. Like, for example, Marauder Champions exist for Norska, yet you don't see it even against dwarves. It's not a good matchup for them. So we will see. Kislev may also struggle against dwarves, so that's also true. I don't really know why people want hobgoblins. It's not like you want it or don't want it. You will have it with Ogre Kingdoms. So they have no chariots and AP units as a range. They have no shields. I don't think it... Ronnie and Kislev have a lot of shields. What you fucking talking about? Their mainline infantry and their elite infantry have shields. So they will be like Norska, more or less. Kislev, like similar to Norska, I think. So I don't think they will struggle as much. Norska stomps them with less chariots and monsters, while these guys will like just have AP range and also their monsters instead. Their mid-tier infantry have shields. Who uses against elite infantry against Davi blasting chariots? Actually, a lot of people have to use it. Like Swordmeisters, Executioners. Not sure about like Marauder Champions, but Chosen, Chaos Wars, Great Weapons. You see a lot of elite infantry. Like even Wood Elf Rush, a lot of time have like War Dancers, Blade Singers, or Wildwood Rangers. So you do use them. It's just you have mid-tier or low-tier infantry first. Which Kislev does have mid-tier infantry, which if they trade well into Longbeards, that will be their answer. What could Lizardmen do against Cathay? Good question. Alright, so let's figure out. So I have like my little list of units. So besides the obvious of Die, they can do full air plus half. Actually, never mind. I think Grand Cathay will kinda struggle to kill something like pure Soros spam. Right? Especially in this meta when Cavalry doesn't do well against Soros. I think just pure Soros spam will be an answer here. Like you take some mass units to pin Cavalry in place. You go some range units for, you know, late game single entity snipe of dragons and shit. And you just go Soros and just smash these Cathay things. Like I don't see that many things that can stop you. Soros definitely outclass Jade Warriors like 100%. They should do well against Dragon Guards, even if they lose their Halberd units. They shouldn't trade too cost effectively. And then you just swarm like Soros, Kings, and like cheap calf will be your answer. With some anti-air of like range units. You need some chameleons to kill more like in late game Skylanterns and shit. Am I reading anything wrong? Does Cathay have a tiny roster, like only 4 infantry? Yes, well, this is early reveal, but it does look like small roster. The thing is, like, yeah, by the way, hi, God of Gobbus, but I think you're looking at, like, a little bit from the side. Like, yes, they have only 4 infantry units, but they have 7, right? 6 range units plus 2 skirmish calf, right? Am I counting it right? Plus 3 artillery. So yes, they have less melee units than range units, but their range units are kind of ridiculous, right? I think the biggest selling point of this faction in general for both multiplayer and campaign would be dragon crossbows. Imagine Sisters of Avalord if you have access to cheap spear boys for 250. Just imagine how OP it would be. You also have your cheapish Jade Warriors that will cost like 500-600, right? You have these guys, and then you spam Spear Boys, and in the core and in the middle you have this 1100 armored AP Dragon Crossbows. No, they do not have Skirmish Calf yet. Pendulum and Archie will still wreck them. I think artillery would be super risky against Giselle faction, but we will see. I think Giselle's kinda wreck artillery. That depends. That actually very much depends. But I think they would play way more like I'd say like Empire, more or less. I have like very strong Empire vibes here in general. But stronger. The 4 melee units are kind of all they need. Yeah. They say something about spell getting stronger with more caster and Lord having access to life, so I wonder if people will take 3 casters to Super Roseblood. Yeah, that's also true. Like Death Blobs. So the army that I see that can be super annoying to deal with is you just take peasants, Cathay peasants, right? All of them. And then you have only air plus single entity heal blob. So you take a Dragon Empress, you take 2 additional casters, and you take your air guys, like something like 2 Skylanterns to snipe Lord, and like 2 Pegasus Knights. I don't think you can like afford all of that, but you may, because peasants are super cheap. You can have like 14 units or so with this super strong heal block of Dragon plus. Just in general, guys, though, we have a Dragon plus Pegasus Knights. That's cool. With, of course, like with Eastern Y, but still, that it is very cool. I have a weird sense that Cathay is gonna box a lot. Oh, hell yes, I would. Just like Empire, though. Empire's also boxes a lot, right? So there's that. No, like Filthy Dwarfs or High Elves. Do High Elves box a lot? I think High Elves boxes are kind of weak. They don't have like good artillery or something. They don't. You rarely see C-Steers these days. When was the model count of the knights like 6? Oh, you mean Pegasus Knights? No, I think we saw it in trailer. In like this one. If you take a look, wait, do you see it? Yeah, you do see it. So if you take a look here, it's like it's a full unit of like Pegasus Knights. Like you see, it's like there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. Like I would assume it's like Pegasus Knight unit. Do you think Kate will be top tier? Definitely not low tier. So far they look like ridiculously simple to cheese with. Like the thing is, so the way it works right now, if you have a strong faction on top of that you can cheese people with, it's a basically first pick faction, more or less. So here's this mid-tier halberds with dragon and shit. I'm not sure why the quality is so low, but it's okay. Can I have higher quality, please? Okay, here you are. So here, let's see again. Oh no, there's only 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's interesting. You may be right. No, 7. Wait, why it's 7? Yeah, it's 7 of them. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. On the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What is with 7 number? 7 doesn't translate into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have no idea what's up with numbers, guys. I don't know. Is it this ultra scale? I don't know. Like it's most of the time it's like some random scale, so not sure exactly. But 7 is weird number for sure. Not even like 6 can translate into numbers pretty well if it's not ultra scale. Might have a lost one. Yeah. So on the left we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 as well. For some reason we have a group of 7 of these riders. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 again. We consistently have 7 riders. How can they divide 7 by... This is... Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, don't like. Dude, I thought these guys... These ones... I thought they will be like low range. I really hope so. I hope they will be like a grenade launcher. But apparently they are legit Giselles with giant shields. So rip. Are these guys better Skaven? That's a good question. They don't have poison wind mortars. They don't have poison wind globes. Their anti-infantry actually sucks. So far as I see, you can kind of win these guys with just infantry spam and your own strong, like some sort of anti-blob. No Rat Ogre, no Kane. Like monstrous unit stats. Well, even if they have monstrous unit stats, like the main way to kill Pegasus Knights is with just swarms on the ground, like infantry or cavalry charge, or shoot them. And the less models you have, the easier it to do. So yeah, I guess not really easier it is to do. I'm not sure how it like will translate. I would still assume they will cost a lot. This Jade Lighter, I would say they're like they should cost like great big Pegasus, Royal Pegasus Knight and shit. Balance matchup against elves. Uh, so let's see. They have stuff to outshoot high elves. They have stuff to fight cavalry fight with high elves. They have artillery to like. It may be balanced matchup, but I would rather play as Cathay right now than as high elves in this matchup. Purely because, as I said, I can do this thing with uh just spam of these bad boys, dragon crossbowmen, like 3 or 4 of those inside the box, inside a very cheap like unit box, and they'll cost of everything trades cost effectively into high elves. And this celestial crossbowman will probably shred everything. And there's no way they can outshoot you because you have shields. And high elves will most likely not. And armor. On the range. It will be like other archers or like the only shielded range high elf or range unit they have is sea guards, and I don't think sea guards will do much to your armor plus shield dragon crossbows anyway, so you can just ignore it. You really wanted monkeys. Well, you probably will get. Like, this is early one. Bolt throwers? Well, do bolt throwers really kill infantry fast? They're not. And you can get in range. It's like, how many bolt throwers do you need to kill for dragon crossbowmen? And like, for dragon crossbowmen sounds like a huge commitment. Dude, I think like you can easily have it with just spam of spears. Like, you just take all of these units, all of these cheap boys, like this guys and this guys, that's 8 units by our rules. Then these guys, that's another 5. That's 13 units of pure infantry to protect your guys. And you still take some units from us. You take some like couple of these Empire Knights. And you can afford all of that because it's so cheap. I would assume these guys are like, so I said 550 and 600. So 8 of them will cost you only like 4 right? It will cost you slightly more, 4600. And 5 of cheap boys. Oh, wait, sorry. 40, 4600 plus. So based on my speculation numbers, 550 for 80 armor. I would assume they will have 70 armor and low stats. I would assume they will be like basically foot squires with no AP. Maybe 600. I don't think they will be like super expensive. They also may have actually 40 armor because we see high elves who are like full plate, right? High elf spearmen have full plate armor like helmet and shit, and he got 40 armor. They can do like whatever they want with that. White line chariot rushes. That's a good thing. Yeah. All right. So plus 44. So yeah, you can have a dragon and 3 crossbowmen and like 12 chaff to protect easily. What about white line chariot rushes into halberds? That may be one of the cheeses you kind of have to go if you expect full infantry army from, because I don't think this these AP missiles will do that well against chariots. These guys. So maybe that will be your only way. But the thing is, like, imagine Russian with a white line chariots in the Empire, basically. Because so far these guys are more or less Empire, but more. Empire, but more. That will be kind of scary, right? Like, what if they have, instead of this crossbowmen, what if they choose to have Giselles, right? Crane Gunners. They'll have like 4 Crane Gunners instead. Like, all of your chariots will die before even reach. And then the dragon drops and just kills like the last of them. But that can be very scary. It says the halberd version can destroy anything that charges into it. Charge defense versus all. Charge defense versus all doesn't even do anything really in this game, so it's like whatever. Doesn't the compass also act as chariot? As far as I get, compass doesn't act as melee at all. Immune to power of heavens, designed as weapon of war, meteors and lightning storms are summoned, blah 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 blah. Is expensive, truly unique weapon. I don't see any like pointy things going from it, so I see it as a pure Luminarch. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if it would have like 20 weapon strings. Like, absolutely useless in melee. That can happen. Because Luminarch, as you know, have 26. It's a chariot. It counts as fucking chariot for some reason. Not on my rules. In our rules, it doesn't count as chariot because it's just stupid. And it has 26 weapon strengths. Or 28. I think it's 26. Freaking, like, anything has more weapon strengths than that. So it's a chariot like Warwagon, so as a meme. Yeah, exactly. Like, Warwagons are way better chariots, and they're not chariots at all. They just they barely hurt you in melee than this thing. So yeah, well, that's a roster, more or less. So hello. Yep, I'm gonna drop. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna just drop a link here. So there will be a link to join for like our server, and I'm gonna drop the little text here in the Great Hall about like my unit's price speculation. So yeah, I think this is more or less it. When I tell you that the Jet Wars have 75 base leadership, they may. They probably will have something like 65 base leadership, but they have this young mechanics that will boost their leadership to 75. That's what I expect. So yeah. Speculation of Cathay unit prices. Here we go. Here you go, everybody. Welcome, and we're gonna like hang out most of the time. I don't play Warhammer though, so yeah, like we're waiting for Warhammer 3. Sadly, that's why like I'm doing this video instead of playing Warhammer 2 because it's not fun. So yep. All right. See ya. See you guys later. I guess if I have like any question, just type it right now because I think I'm gonna go. And yes, very well. I don't think I missed anything. Thank you for hanging out with me. That was actually a lot of fun. I thought there will be way less people like come here to just talk to me because I fucking never stream. But yeah. Okay, guys. Uh yeah, I guess see ya. Any questions, just drop it here. I may answer in chat after that. Or you can ask them like in Discord, I guess. That's my easier for me to answer. So see ya, chumps.